So this is Tzipora's case study. This is her birth certificate, her little startup thing. Her name in Hebrew is Tzipora, it means bird. That's her little stuffed animal. So prenatal. So my teratogen was alcohol. I had a super, super wild night in Vegas when I was about 8 months pregnant and went way off the rails, just drank crazy time. But she was born with an APGAR score of 6 and was overall pretty healthy, but she could have developed FAS, which is pretty scary. So, again, her APGAR score was 6. She lost points for reflex irritability and muscle tone. So it was just kind of like limp, didn't move around too much, didn't cry, didn't flex, had a little bit of a low heart rate. Again, did not cry, but she was crazy pink and she just kind of continued to improve and get better and better and healthier and healthier. So I analyzed her at 4.5 months old, where she was kind of just starting to be more independent, figuring things out for herself. She was rolling over, she was sitting up, she was teaching herself how to talk, kind of. She was working on her abs with the Superman position, and she was trying to grab toys, working on her pincer grasp and stuff. We expected her to start crawling, talking, and in like the coming months, and had just started introducing different foods into her diet as well. So, Piaget's theories of adaptation and assimilation, cognitive equilibrium and disequilibrium. So, when she was, oh gosh, how old was she? I think about 2. We went to her uncle's house for Thanksgiving, and all of her cousins were there, but before she had only met Tommy. So she just kind of assumed all of their names were Tommy and called them all Tommy all night. And then we went back a couple of years later and she had brought a little notepad and was marking down all of their like defining characteristics and their names so she wouldn't get them confused again. So assimilation and accommodation, just kind of changing and applying at the same time. So her art definitely progressed right on time from her using crayons and markers as cars, like rooming them around and stuff, to drawing kind of tadpole figures with chairs everywhere for whatever reason, to a kind of one dimensional, oddly proportioned picture of us in a meadow. And then most recently, she drew a super pretty picture with perspective, proportion, dimension, color, everything. And it was super nice. So, again, just kind of watching that progression. So, this is her when she was about 4. And then she has another one when she was about 9 months old, maybe 1. It's a crab. I think it's adorable. Definitely more representative working into realistic. You can see it's kind of a crab shape and it's all red. So she's got it mostly down. So these are the different classroom theories: traditional constructivist, social constructivist, and cooperative. Personally, I'm sending Tzipora into a constructivist classroom. I'm a much more hands on learner and I need a lot of interpersonal interaction and stuff like that to really truly understand different things. I definitely need to make my own understandings of stuff, and Tzipora is the exact same way. So I think that that's going to be a really, really good alternative for her rather than a lecture setting. So these are this is Erickson's theory of psychosocial development is the 8 different phases: identity versus role confusion. So Tzipora went through identity diffusion. So there's achievement, moratorium, foreclosure, and then diffusion is again the one she struggled with. She had a lot of trouble deciding her major in college and was considering dropping out, just super, super stressed out. And we let her come home for the weekend, and this was the postcard we got a couple of weeks later. She had decided on her major. She's going in the medical field, wants to be a surgeon. And it was so nice talking through it with her and watching her just kind of get all of her hope back for the future and be more excited and just, super pumped to be there. So these are the kind of fun and interesting facts that I found about pre-adolescent development, most notably that boys make up 10 to 15% of anorexia cases. I thought that was so interesting. I feel like boys are definitely overlooked for having emotions and mental health issues, and I think it's really important to note that they again, struggled just as much as everybody else, regardless of societal norms and stuff like that. And then hypothetical deductive reasoning, I just think is so interesting that we can figure that out all on our own, like using the scientific method from such an early age to kind of figure things out, make theories, do experiments, come to conclusions is so interesting. So this is Tzipora's report card and just kind of how she's developed, how she's progressed, what she's done. So yeah, favorite colors baby blue. We did co-sleeping, stuff like that. What I thought was super interesting, and I'd like to talk about a little more, is her first social smile was at 4.5 weeks old. She was such a smiley and happy baby. She's um, still super smiley and happy, has stayed that way her whole life. I wished that she would be confident, and me and my partner decided that we were going to go at her with affirmations and compliments, letting her know we're proud of her, how special she is, how important she is, and all that. She still has a language to learn from when she lost her front teeth, though it's super, super mild. And then her imaginary friend was a bear with a tuxedo. His name was Carter, upon being asked, but she would call him Jim, Jimmy, and Jimbo a lot. So we think that he was named after Jimmy Carter, which we're not totally sure why, but oh well. And then this is her in her school photo when she was about 7. It's actually me when I was about 7, but for all intensive purposes, that is Tzipora at 7 years old. You can see she doesn't have any teeth and hair's in little braids, stuff like that. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely break. And thank you so much for such a fun and interesting class.